What if your greatest weakness was not a shadow on your past, but a chain you carried into every tomorrow? This is not a motivational speech. This is a reckoning, a confrontation with the part of you that no one sees, but that rules your days in silence. This video will not simply inspire you, it will arm you. With weapons forged in fire. With timeless truths uttered not by influencers, but by sages who walked through storms of temptation and emerged with eyes like still water and hearts like tempered iron. Watch until the very end. Because every moment missed is a truth unclaimed. And this may be the one teaching that frees you from a prison you didn't know you had built. Like and subscribe to let your mind and soul be nourished with wisdom. He battled masturbation for 15 years. Not because he lacked willpower, but because he mistook his cage for comfort. At first it seemed harmless, a release, a private indulgence. The world called it natural. The world applauded freedom. But freedom without discipline becomes decay. And decay is never loud, it is quiet. Like rust eating through a blade, like rot behind a beautiful mask. He was young when it began. Curiosity became routine. Routine became refuge. Refuge became slavery. Each night, he promised it would be the last. Each morning, he woke with guilt heavy on his chest like an unmovable stone. He knew something was wrong, not because someone told him, but because he felt it in the hollowing of his soul. The spark in his eyes began to die. His energy waned. He no longer met people's gaze. The dreams he once held, of greatness, of leadership, of love, grew distant, as if watched through a fogged window from the other side of time. He tried everything. Cold showers, affirmations, apps, guilt, prayer, punishment. Every attempt to quit felt like climbing a mountain that never ended, each slip a fall down an invisible ravine. He spoke to no one of his struggle, because how do you confess a war no one believes is real? Then came the breaking point. It was not a dramatic event. No one walked in, no one saw. But something cracked inside him as he looked in the mirror one dawn. Not just at his reflection, but at the man he had become, a man ruled by impulse. A man who had traded strength for shame, who could not hold his own gaze. That day something ancient stirred in him. A voice, not loud but undeniable, the voice of the Stoic. You were not born for comfort, you were born for conquest. Not of the world, but of yourself. That morning began the path of healing, not a sprint, a pilgrimage. He began walking through fire, and now, so shall you. Because you too have felt it, haven't you? That silent guilt, that fatigue that sleep does not cure. That subtle weakening of will, that fog of spirit. You wake with energy, with goals, with a plan, and by nightfall, the plan lies in ashes, and you are once again kneeling before the same altar of indulgence. You think you lack discipline, but discipline is not born in willpower alone. It is born in vision, and your vision has been clouded. This is not merely about quitting a habit, this is about regaining your sovereignty. This video offers not surface-level tricks, it offers transformation, not through hacks, but through the iron laws of Stoic philosophy, ancient wisdom that outlived empires. These are the tools of kings and philosophers, of generals and monks. You will learn not how to resist, but how to transcend. You will learn the 10 Stoic principles that sever the root of addiction, not by suppression, but by elevation. Here is how a man walks through fire and becomes flame. Number 1. Know the enemy is within. Addiction to masturbation is not about the body. It is the soul crying out for purpose, and the body misinterpreting that cry. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You must first see that the enemy you face is not the screen, not the fantasy, not the urge, but the fractured self that seeks escape from reality. You don't defeat temptation by fighting shadows. You defeat it by lighting a torch. Action. Journal the moments you feel the urge. What triggered it? Is it boredom, stress, loneliness? Discover the pattern, because a chain unseen is a chain unbroken. Number 2. Reject the illusion of harmlessness. The world tells you it's normal, that there is no harm in it, that all men do it. Marcus Aurelius reminds you, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. And the quality of your mind determines your destiny. What you repeatedly do in private forges the man you become in public. Every act of indulgence without meaning builds a habit of escape. Action. Visualize the man you want to become. Would he kneel before the same altar? No. Then do not excuse what he would not tolerate. Guard the temple of your becoming. Number 3. Transmute desire into discipline. Carl Jung once said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." The energy you waste in masturbation is not evil. It is power. It must not be repressed. It must be redirected. The Stoics taught that passion must become purpose. Every urge is a signal that you are meant for more. Let it remind you to rise. Action. When the urge hits, do not flee. Channel it. Exercise. Build. Create. Let the beast within be yoked to build your temple, not tear it down. Number 4. Reclaim the sacredness of solitude. You do not need distraction. You need depth. The silence you run from is the only place where transformation happens. Gaius Musonius Rufus declared, "We must train our desires to desire what is good." Masturbation for many is an escape from solitude. But the Stoics seek solitude as a forge, not an escape, but an anvil. Action. Practice sitting in stillness. No phone, no music, no stimulation, just you and your thoughts. Begin with 10 minutes. Expand. Learn to hear the whispers of your own soul. Number 5. Bind yourself to a higher standard. You cannot escape addiction by merely resisting it. You must build a code, a law you will not break. Machiavelli wrote, "Men rise from one ambition to another. First, they seek to secure themselves against attack, then they attack others." The Stoic reverses this. First, secure yourself against the attack of the self. Then build. Then conquer. Action. Create a vow. Write it. Speak it aloud each morning. A vow not just to quit, but to become. A vow to walk in the footsteps of the ancients. A warrior's creed. If you have found value thus far, this is the moment to rise and stand with others on the path. Like and subscribe, not as followers, but as fellow warriors walking through fire. Each subscription is a link in a brotherhood of flame. Number 6. Starve the imagination. Fantasy is the fuel of addiction. The Stoics knew that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Your mind, left unguarded, becomes a siren song. It whispers images, memories, illusions. You must become its master. Action. Use visual fasting. Clean your digital world. Block the temptations. Replace them with reminders of virtue. Fill your feed with warriors, builders, poets, sages. Number 7. Build a fortress of habits. Discipline is not a moment. It is a rhythm. Posidonius taught that the soul becomes noble through noble acts repeated. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Action. Create a sacred morning routine. Rise at the same hour. Make your bed. Breathe, write, move, meditate. Let no morning pass without conquering it. A man who masters his dawn can master his dusk. Number 8. Embrace discomfort as fuel. The Stoic does not fear pain, he wields it. Marcus Aurelius again, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. Each time you resist the urge, you build muscle." Invisible at first, but one day, you will walk past the same temptation and feel nothing. Action. Seek discomfort daily. Cold showers, long walks, fasting. Not to punish, but to strengthen. Comfort makes slaves. Hardship makes kings. Number 9. Connect to a greater mission. Masturbation thrives in meaninglessness. A man with no mission falls to distraction, but a man on fire for purpose has no time to be ruled by flesh. The Stoics lived for logos, for reason, for virtue, for harmony with nature. Action. Ask, why are you here? What burns in you that will outlast you? Write your mission. Post it where you'll see it each morning. Let every urge be a reminder to return to it. Number 10. Remember death and choose glory, memento mori. You will die. That is not tragedy, it is urgency. Marcus Aurelius reminds you, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Each day given to indulgence is a day never lived. You were not born for cycles. You were born for greatness. Action. Meditate daily on death. Not to fear it, but to sharpen your vision. Ask, if today were your last, would you still kneel to your urges, or would you rise? And now you know, the enemy, the tools, the path. But a question remains, will you walk it? Or will you look back, years from now, and see the same chains wrapped around a different man? Comment below, what chains are you breaking today? And do not stop here. The next video dives even deeper into Stoic mastery, into the war between emotion and reason, and how to rule your mind like a Roman emperor. Watch it, not later, now, because the fire is lit. And a man who walks away from fire walks back into the cold. Like, subscribe, share this with one who fights in silence, and above all, endure, ascend, and remember, the man you are becoming is already watching you.